Why does it feel like every successful entrepreneur had to fail first? Well, because they did. Ever feel like entrepreneurship is just a fancy, glorified word for failure? Well, you're not entirely wrong. But here's the thing, failure isn't just common, it's essential. I'm Phil Smythe, and this is part of my MBA for Entrepreneurs series. Let's talk about why your failures might actually be the best thing that ever happened to you. Have you ever had your dream crumble right in front of you? Trust me, you're not alone. According to an article in the Harvard Business Review, 30% of startups fail within the first 5 years. But failure isn't the end of your entrepreneurial journey, it's a rite of passage. In this video, we're breaking down what failure means, how to learn from it, and most importantly, how to bounce back stronger. Let's get this out of the way. Failure is normal. You're not cursed, you're not a bad entrepreneur, you're just human. In that Harvard Business School article I talked about, they found that one of the most common reasons startups fail is that they don't give themselves the wiggle room to pivot. They commit so hard to one idea that when it flops, they have no plan B. How many times have you seen a product hit the market and thought, who asked for this? That's what happens when entrepreneurs ignore customer demand and stick to their original idea like it's gospel. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. Launch too early, people don't get it. Too late, the market's already crowded. It's like trying to sell Christmas trees in February. Technically possible, but good luck to you. And I've been there myself. I launched a real money mobile phone-based casino product. And guess what? It was 5 years too early, maybe 10. The technology and the customer appetite just weren't there yet. If I'd waited or pivoted, things might have been different. But at the time, the market wasn't ready. Too much money. Yep, too much money can kill a startup. It sounds counterintuitive, but when you have a fat bank account, you're more likely to make bad decisions. One investor put it like this: when you don't have money, you reformulate the dog food so the dogs will eat it. When you have too much money, you argue that the dog should like the dog food because it's nutritious. Fear is tricky. Some fear is good, like being afraid of missing the rent. That keeps you sharp. But other fears, like fearing you don't know enough or fearing judgment, can paralyze you. The trick? Find systems to mitigate the fear. If you're afraid of oversleeping, you set 2 alarms. If you're afraid of not knowing enough, research. Fear is a signal, not a stop sign. Not all failures are created equal. Let's break it down. Ship. This startup had a great idea, on-demand shipping, but it couldn't find a sustainable business model. The founders learned from their mistakes and went on to create new, successful ventures. But Arianna Huffington, before Huffington Post, she had a major setback when she ran for public office during the 2003 California gubernatorial recall election, which was eventually won by one of my personal heroes, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arianna Huffington eventually withdrew from the race, but the experience taught her about the power of the internet for mobilization and communication. This insight planted the seed for what would become Huffington Post. By 2005, just 2 years later, she co-founded the online news platform, combining her lessons from the campaign trail with a vision for digital media. Today, of course, the Huffington Post is a landmark success, proving that even political failure can be the foundation for groundbreaking innovation. But then you have the bad failures. Elizabeth Holm from Theranos. Poor Elizabeth. She's like the poster child for failure caused by deceit. Bad failure happens when you're negligent, immoral, or outright criminal. And then you have Innisfree's paper bottle. This is a masterclass on how not to do sustainable marketing. Innisfree proudly launched a bottle they claimed was made of paper, playing into the global push for eco-friendly packaging. Customers were thrilled until someone cut one open, and then inside the paper bottle was a plastic bottle. Yep, the whole thing was a plastic bottle wrapped in a thin layer of paper. The backlash wasn't just swift, it was savage. Social media lit up with posts roasting the company for greenwashing, which is the act of making false environmental claims. The story became a PR nightmare, with customers feeling deceived and furious. Lesson? Don't lie. Meaning, if you're gonna innovate, make sure it's genuine, because today's customers will dig deeper, and when they do, the truth better match your marketing. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. Failure can break you. When your business fails, it's not just about losing money, it's grief. It's the death of a dream. A Business Insider article talks about how a true entrepreneur bounces back after failure. It's not easy. You'll go through denial, anger, even depression. But the good news is that those who bounce back don't just rebuild, they rebuild better. Let's start with the practical stuff. If you've lost money, your first priority is to stabilize. Find new revenue streams fast. Freelancing, consulting, selling assets, like a few guitars you're not playing. It's not glamorous, but it buys you time. Failure is exhausting. Take a break, go hiking, paint, play the guitar if you still have one. Do something that reconnects you with who you are outside of being an entrepreneur. You're more than your business. Review what went wrong. Was it timing? Funding? Bad product market fit? Guess what though? This means that you have to know how to do this kind of analysis. I'll be digging into this kind of thing later on in other videos. And once you've done some analysis, use those insights to make backup plans for your next venture. A post-mortem isn't just about pointing fingers. It's about finding solutions. This might be the hardest part. Accept that it's over. Learn what you can and start fresh. Failure isn't a dead end, but it is a detour. And this is critical though. Failing doesn't make you a failure. There's a huge difference between I failed and I'm a failure. Everyone fails. The best entrepreneurs wear their failures like badges of honor. Remember, I fucked up, but I'm not a fuck up. Failure isn't fatal, but ignoring it can be. Failure is feedback, yeah, but only if you take the time to deeply understand it. If you don't accept responsibility for what went wrong and do the hard work of analyzing your missteps, you're setting yourself up just to repeat them. Blaming external factors might feel comforting in the moment, but it won't help you grow. To be clear, failure isn't fine on its own. It's fine when you learn from it. Entrepreneurs who treat every failure as a lesson turn those setbacks into stepping stones. But those who don't, well, they're likely to keep tripping over the same rocks. The key is to face failure head on. Ask yourself the tough questions. What did I miss? What could I have done differently? And most importantly, how do I make sure this doesn't happen again? When you own your mistakes, you take back control of your future. Remember, the only real failure is the one you refuse to learn from. So act, learn, build, and grow. Rinse and repeat. The road to success is paved with failures, but those failures are what make the eventual success even sweeter. If this video helped you see failure in a new light, hit that subscribe button. Or if you think the video was a complete failure, let me know. Then I can learn from it. Of course, you can also let me know if it wasn't a failure so I can feel good about myself. If you're ready to keep learning, check out the next video popping up on your screen. Let's keep growing together.